Hi, we're here today with Raquel Bueno, who is the owner of Liberation Yoga Studio in Nashville, Tennessee.
Hi, Corinne.
Hi. So thanks for being here. We thought we'd talk today about what yoga is and also
what yoga isn't.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of misconceptions about what yoga is and what yoga is not. One of my favorite things is people think that yoga is a workout.
Right. It is a workout. It's just not an external workout. It's an internal.
It's a work in.
It's a work in.
It's a work in. Yeah. Yeah. So that's that's number one.
Yeah.
Okay. What else?
Yoga is community.
Yoga is community. Yoga is for everyone, everybody.
Yoga is for everyone. Yoga is not self-deprecating.
Yoga is truthful, but not harsh.
Truthful but not harsh. I love that. Yoga is not shameful. It's not shaming.
It is. Yoga is balance.
Yoga is balance. Yoga is not extreme.
Nice. Yoga is a work in.
Yeah, it's an inside job.
Happiness is an inside
Inside
job.
job,
That's
I
my saying. Yoga is an inside job. Okay, what is yoga not?
Yoga is not. It's not for skinny people.
Not just for skinny people. Yoga is not a religion. That's a big one still after all these years. Yoga is definitely not a religion. It's a philosophy and it's a way of life, but it is not a religion.
No, but there are like people. I think what gets confusing for people is there's like that Hindu aspect to it that
comes
because
out
it supports it.
Yeah, Vedas. Hinduism comes out of the Vedas, which is the oldest writing on the planet, and yoga also comes out of the Vedas. So that's where the similarities end.
That's where end.
Yeah.
It's not spiritual bypassing. So
That
if you
happens.
get really out there, we sometimes call it like woo-woo yoga. You have to stay grounded in what is your life.
It's like those yoga teachers. Sorry, it's
Go
like
ahead.
those yoga teachers that all talk in the same voice, and now you should do this, and that's not what yoga is.
No, the yoga voice changes. And every once in a while, if I hear myself and I get too like because I'm not right, and so I'm like, did my voice just get really mellow?
Yeah, yoga is not a workout.
It's not a workout, and yoga is not. It is not hard. I mean, if everything is hard, then you need to do some more yoga.
Yoga is not painful, which comes along with hard as well. Yoga is not painful. It's not hard. It's not a workout.
It's not only for flexible people.
Yeah.
It's not only for spiritual people.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you might not become a little more spiritual
with
if you
that.
practice.
Yeah, but what I've found too is that, and what yoga teaches, is that you become more spiritual in whatever your path is.
It really respects your religion of origin.
Yeah.
And so if you have a strong religious belief, it will respect and support your religion of origin.
Absolutely.
What yoga is? So what yoga is really the ability to find that directable space in your life, and space for things to move in and space for things to move out, which is the good and the bad, right?
Yeah.
So the good stuff's moving in, and the good stuff, you can't get attached to it because it moves out too.
It's gone. So yoga is not about peace, love, and happiness all the time. It's about truth.
It's about honesty.
It's honesty and seeing things exactly as they are. Because a lot of times in life, I think we see things either better than they are or worse than they are. But it's important to shift in life to see things exactly as they are.
Yeah, I mean, nothing that's out of balance is sustainable, right? So if you're too high all the time, if you're kind of running at this exuberant level constantly, you can't maintain it.
Yeah.
If you run at a really low energy all the time, you can't maintain it.
Beautiful.
So it's always about finding that, in Zen Buddhism, we call it the middle way, finding that middle way. And I think you see that in most spiritual practices, that there's a balance that happens.
And I think that's what yoga is. Yoga is about balance, finding balance in the body, finding balance in your life, finding balance in every aspect of ourselves.
Yeah. And that's the part. I think people get confused and they think when you come into balance, your life becomes really boring. And it's actually...
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
So not.
Yeah, it's not. It allows you to make more constructive decisions. It allows you to work in your best interest. The universe is going to meet you in that place. The universe it's not conspiring against you, it's conspiring for you. And so it will meet you wherever you are. But the end result is that that the universe is working toward opening you up and trying to find
Beautiful.
space.
I love you. I love this.
Love you too.
I love what you say.
I like it.
That's why I brought her here today, because she's amazing.
We just and then we'll go into a love fest because we're like sisters, right? And so,
But we're not sisters, but we are sisters.
right.
Yeah.
She's obviously.
Yeah.
She's obviously she holds the light and I hold the dark.
And yoga's for everyone. It's not just for flexible people. That's what it's funny that people think that, though. So many people think that, because I'll meet somebody on the plane and I'll say, I'm a yoga teacher. Oh, I'm not flexible enough to do yoga.
Everybody
says that. And I'm like, well, that's why we do yoga, is to become more flexible in body and mind.
In body and mind. I mean, somebody just said that to me, I don't know, maybe 2 days ago. And I said, well, if you want to become flexible, not doing yoga isn't going to serve that. It's like so do a little yoga and see what happens.
Yeah.
Because, the entry, I always say, the yoga is going to find you. If you practice, I don't care what kind of yoga you practice, if you step in, you can't step out. Once you know, you can't unknow. And maybe you're doing,
right.
Really aggressive, intense classes, but eventually the yoga finds you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So beautiful. Thank you. So what else? Yoga is not for skinny people. I love that one, because the cover of the Yoga Journal has been these perfect, beautiful bodies for 20 years now, since the Yoga Journals, and which is, part of our culture, marketing and everything. But that's, to me, yoga is not that. Yoga is not just for skinny people. And even in our teacher's class, Saul David Ray in Los Angeles, he actually has all shapes, which is unique in Los Angeles, because there are a lot of
beautiful
people in Los Angeles, but he tends to get a wide range.
Well, I think that's why he's been my teacher for so many years. And when I look at my classes, I hope that we have everybody in my classes. Yoga it's a very inclusive. It's not exclusive. And I think in the U.S., it feels exclusive. A lot of people say, well, it's for wealthy people. It's mostly Caucasians. It's people that have money. Yeah. And, look, I own a yoga studio. You own a yoga studio. We have to pay the bills. But there are always ways. We make sure at our studio and your studio too, that there are always ways that we can provide yoga to everyone who wants it.
Absolutely. Yeah. For me, I've got what's called karma yoga, and we do an exchange. And if somebody wants to come and do yoga and they can't afford it, then I have them work in the garden and whatever is needed. Whatever's needed. Yeah.
So, and I think it's really important that in yoga we help each other and we support each other in whatever way we can or ways we can. Through Yoga Gives, I started that probably 9 years ago now, and we offer a donation class. Anybody can come. It's all levels. But then we find ways to work with something. This year we're helping one of our yoga community's teachers with her daughter who's ill. But we also work with Safe Haven locally.
Nice.
So,
Nice. Yoga is not self-deprecation.
Yeah. Well, and I think we can get, when self-deprecating humor is, I kind of like it too. I do it too. I'll make fun of myself, and I have not a lot of problem with that. I give myself a lot of material. But when self-deprecation becomes self-shaming, it comes from a place of not enough, or everyone else is better, or we don't fit in. We have to create a little more space around that self-deprecation, because that's not yoga. Yoga isn't looking at the person at the mat, on the mat next to you, saying, "Oh, well, they have the pose, and they can wrap their leg around their head, and so all of a sudden that makes them a yogi."
That's not yoga.
It's not. And yoga shouldn't be hard. So it doesn't mean it doesn't challenge you, or it can't be confrontational in some ways, but yoga shouldn't be hard.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Krishnamacharya believed, and it's in the Yoga Sutras too, that yoga has to be, your practice in some way should be pleasurable. And if it's not pleasurable, you're not going to stick with it.
And how many people have you talked to? I was talking to a friend of mine recently, and he's like, you need to do yoga. You need to do yoga for your body, for your back. And he's like, I hate yoga. It's so hard. I had a yoga teacher come to my house every day for a year, and it was so difficult. And I'm like, what kind of yoga are you doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's, yoga is also, it's a practice for us as teachers. Like we have to listen
Constant.
to what's happening in that place. What is the practice that's appropriate
For the person.
For the person.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is challenging, but I would say if your practice challenges you spiritually and emotionally a little bit more than it challenges you physically, you're probably in the right place. But if the yoga practice is just about pushing through, you know, Saul, our teacher, says, no pain, no pain.
No pain, no pain.
It's like,
Hallelujah.
no pain, right? No pain, no pain. Yoga will meet you where you are, but if you're like, I want to be better physically, I want to be stronger physically, I want to be more intense, more aggressive, yoga is going to make you all of those things until you can't sustain it.
Exactly.
And that's a hard way to, that's a hard way to get through your stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Chitta Vritti Nirodha, and that is, yoga is really about creating a calm and directable mind. And I think it's Yoga Sutra number 2, but that's, a calm and directable mind means that you have a lot of freedom to get things done in your life that you want, like really explore the things you love, have the dreams, like fulfill the dreams that you want to fulfill. If you're in chaos all the time, the path is long.
Yeah.
And arduous, you know.
Very arduous. We can sustain it maybe in our 20s, but after that is no drama.
Well, our practice should change. Our practice should change when we're young and we need more physical activity to calm the mind.
Yeah.
And then when we're in the place in our lives where, you know, the householder realm, where we're more in a place of refinement, then our practice should be an appropriate practice for refinement. And then in yoga, they call it the forest dwellers. We move to the forest dweller time of life.
Is that what I'm heading into now?
You're going to say we. You can say we. We're not there yet.
Okay, good.
We're still maintaining our household. But when we move in our practice, when our lives change, our practice should change.
Yeah.
You know, life doesn't, yoga is really a mirror for life. And so if you're trying to achieve your yoga practice, then you might want to look at what your yoga practice is.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't feel like that really intense, tedious work. It should feel like a path, and a sustainable path.
Yeah, sustainable, beautiful. Yoga is not a religion. And you actually don't have to speak Sanskrit to do yoga.
Ever.
Ever. You don't have to ever speak Sanskrit to do yoga.
And it doesn't actually make you, it doesn't qualify you. Speaking Sanskrit it's not a qualifier for yoga. Now, is it important to understand like the roots of it and what it means? Yes. Like all that will do is open the pathway a little wider for you.
Yeah.
But to come to a yoga class and not understand what the teacher is saying, I think that, to me, that's not impressive.
Yeah.
Like I use Sanskrit, I use kind of a blend of both. But if I use Sanskrit, I use the English definition as well.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, I usually do the same thing as well.
So
yeah,
I kind of it's like Spanglish.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, what would that be?
English and Sanskrit, Skanglish.
Skanglish. I was trying, I don't work that quickly. No. So, I don't know.
See, yoga is definitely not about being serious.
It's not, and it can't be serious all the time. We want you to have joy in your life. There should be some joy in your life. It should be a balance, because life's going to throw stuff at you anyway.
Yeah.
Like life's going to throw stuff at you. You know, we're going to get older. We're going to lose our parents. If you know, everything is working in kind of the typical natural way. We're going to lose relationships and people, and our jobs will change, and you know, and we change.
Yeah,
and
but that's what yoga helps with, is to be adaptable. That's
adaptable.
You know,
I love that.
Adaptability, because I started doing yoga probably in my mid-20s or so, and my life was in chaos back then. And what yoga and meditation gave me immediately was a sense of inner peace and balance in my life automatically, just by doing the practices. And then I started studying all this stuff, the philosophy behind it automatically was happening.
Yeah.
You know, yoga happens automatically when you're doing the practices. It gives you all of what we've been talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, thank you for having this. We have this conversation.
We
anyway.
did. We could talk forever, obviously,
Yeah.
but I just wanted to share a little bit of this amazingness in this woman. I love her classes and I love who she is, and she
I feel the
truly,
same way.
truly embodies yoga. You really actually have been a huge part in bringing the yoga community of Nashville together. You know, you make it all inclusive, because I hear from other teachers in other cities that there is a competition there, and truly, I feel like in Nashville we have a lot of love, and that's all because of you.
I don't know about that, but
it is.
But
It is.
I do feel like it's just kind of BS. You know, if we as yoga teachers can't
get along,
walk,
and there's
well, on some level,
competition.
and we don't have to get along all the time, but can we move through our
Move through the
issues and
difficulties.
kindness
Exactly.
and look at like what's worth fighting for and what's not worth fighting about.
Yeah.
You know, I believe that the yoga teachers in Nashville, we're all really trying to hold space for ourselves and each
work
other
together and support each other, and that's what I've always felt from you, is support from you, and I appreciate that so much.
I feel that way about you. I mean, what you do in Nashville and what you offer, that openness for people to actually sit into themselves a little bit and be calm is, I mean, I feel like that's invaluable. And, you know, we're lucky to have you.
And we're lucky to have you. We love each other.